a Facebook stream with just the two of us. Just
Shyness is nice and shyness can stop you from doing all the things in life you like to. Shyness is nice and shyness can stop you from doing all the things in life you like to. So there's something you like to try. Is there something you like to try? Ask me, I won't say no. How could I? Coyness is nice and coyness can stop you from saying all the things in life you like to. If there's something you like to try, if there's something you like to try, ask me, I won't say no. How could I? Spinning warm summer days indoors, writing frightening verse to a buck-toothed girl in Luxembourg. Ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me. If it's not love, then the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb that will bring us together. Nature is a language, can't you read? Nature is a language, can't you read? So ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me. If it's not love, then the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb that will bring us together. If it's not love, then it's the bomb. Then it's the bomb that will bring us together. So ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. How do I stop YouTube? Sometimes you just gotta sing a song to start out your day. Turn off my harmonizers in a box. So welcome. Last weekend, I did an Audio Terrace performance for Balanced Breakfast on their 4-weekend festival. In fact, the festival is continuing. It's on right now. So if you don't like what you see on my channel, go run over to Balanced Breakfast and check out hundreds of artists on the festival that's going over multiple Sundays. Now back to my performance. So after my performance, a few friends contacted me and said, hey, I really liked what you did. Why don't you do some more of that? And I thought about it. And one friend was very adamant that what I should do is have a regular time once a week where I sit down and present my work, what's going on in my life. And I thought, well, that's a little limiting in just, talking about myself. Granted, I have a lot of projects. Those that know me well know I'm never without a project. So here's the clipboard, and these are just the singles I had scheduled to release this year before coronavirus and before I started playing live and all that good stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting back to this schedule and getting stuff out. Well, what better than introduce those new songs right every Sunday and have a fixed time where I present things rather than my usual way, which is just to throw them over the fence randomly whenever they get done and say, hey, folks, there's something new out here. And then I want to get other people involved and have some guest artists and musicians appear, and other folks who have been big influences on my life, I've asked to be on the next series of shows. Today is the pilot. I've spent about a week and a half figuring out the technology and how to make it work with what I've got, and it is definitely like jumping down a rabbit hole, Alice. And because stitching all the pieces together, and one company has this policy and this company has another policy, so this company comes in and tries to bridge the policies, and then this one conflicts with that policy even though they're really the same company. All that kind of stuff has a interplay when you're doing this sort of thing. And I'll eventually get the angle of the microphone down. I'll eventually close the closet door that my wife said I should close before going live. And hey, since this is like the early days of the show, I figured I'd make it like the early days of TV, black and white. The pilot in black and white. And as I get better lighting, we can bring up some color and add some further character to the show. I am now going to, and about 3 days from now, I'm going to get a second monitor so that I can be doing the show on one screen and looking at chats on another screen and bringing up stuff from different places. Stuff like cool things like, being able to switch cameras here. You notice the first camera is pretty, I don't know, on my screen, it's pretty staticky. It's a lower end camera. So the first thing another friend said is, hey, get a better camera. So I got this camera. So probably be getting a second one of these to replace that first camera. And right now, if I show my desktop, it's where the stream's coming from. So you're going to get a big mess until I switch over and lower it down. Eventually, I'll be targeting the second screen as the desktop. And there I can show videos and bring up interviews with people. So today is going to be a little rough. I want to let you know that in advance. But I think after the last 10 days, I've worked out the major issues. Love your comments about the sound quality, the sound level, and what that is like. Yeah, and then I just switched off one particular vocal processing, which I realize is not necessary for the conversation. And I'm having a little trouble with the Macintosh here. There's a bug I've been fighting for 2 years on it, where it thinks that no headphones is attached and starts playing out the computer speaker. And now it's doing this weird thing where it will not boot into the Mac operating system, only into Windows, which is odd for a Mac. But as my buddy Tim and many people have noted, bugs and challenges with technology seem to follow me like evil spirits. Like right now, I just try to boot the Mac and force it to boot in Mac OS, and it's decided that it wants to book into Windows. So we'll see if that comes into play a little later, because there's some new musical instrument I got that I'd like to play with and do a performance with. Unfortunately, it only runs on the Mac OS. Sometimes this is a Windows update issue. I'm going to try rebooting it one more time and restart and multitask. So first guest I wanted to have here is probably the first person that I ever felt a kindred music creative spirit with. We never actually worked together at the time. I wasn't really a musician. I was a vocalist and actor, and they were definitely a musician and great singer. And in high school, this man would sit at a piano during lunch in the choir room, and he would start playing, and people would just gather around and start singing songs. And he's very into the Beatles, so it was a lot of Beatles songs. It was like Beatles sing-along at the piano at every lunch. It was great, and it just really inspired me. I thought, this is an amazing guy. And one day he was walking out, and he spun around, looked at me, and he just said one word at me. And he said, kind of like, "You're in the club, kid. You're cool." And I hadn't experienced that to that point. So that was a big moment for me, and that kind of set a lot of things in motion. And then, let's see, 10, 20, 25 years later, he wrote a song for me, and then for me to perform, and it appears on my album, Brilliant Dreams, available on all fine places where music is available. Caleb, Kalib, Brilliant Dreams. And the song was Weight of Somewhere. And my producer at the time, Tyrone Stanford, did a really cool version of that. But I'd like to invite him to the session today to talk with us and, say hello. Hello. And so, Ed, this is Edward Thomas Keller. Hello, my name's Ed. And he's from, he's originally from the San Francisco Bay Area, but he moved over to England. And since he's currently asleep, I mean, obviously this is a sock puppet. This isn't Ed here with us today. Well, but it is Ed, you see. So Ed, I asked to be on the show, but again, it's 1 a.m. in England. I'm not going to have him stay up, wake up his kids and whatnot. So I told him what we would do is tap into his soul and channel his sleeping consciousness into this sock puppet that looks vaguely like a shark. And so Ed, what are you gonna do for us today? I'm gonna show a video of one of my songs. I did this video back in January, and I think it's a good uplifting song in dark times like these. Oh, that's very cool, Ed. Well, why don't you go down there and get the video started? Okay. All right. So that's Ed's soul channeled through a sock puppet. And now I want to present a music video by Ed. So first I have to hit this magic button that makes everything very strange. And move that down. Again, this will be improved once I get the second monitor. And Ed goes by a couple different band names. Edward of Sim, Virgin Twin, and this is Mystic Insect, Girl in the Dark.
Hold on to your heart, girl in the dark. I'll do my best to let some light shine through on you. You deserve to be outside, but I fear we'll never know you. I'll never get to show you what it means to be alive. Hang on to yourself, girl on the shelf. Please never feel ignored or left behind in my mind. You'd be so damn good at living, yet it still will be denied you. Couldn't lose you if I tried to, but you'll never come outside. It's all too real. Can't help but feel. Try not to cry, girl on the slide. I'll hold you close in every single way that I can.
All right, and that is Ed Keller's going as Mystic Insect, Girl in the Dark. He sent me that the other day, and it was exactly what I needed to hear. A little mellow, positive calm in all the chaos. So next, cool. Seems like folks are messaging here. Sounds good. Vocals is a little quiet, probably because the processing is off. That adds a little more, maybe a little too much reverb, I don't know. But I would now like to invite, before I talk about anything else, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You see him right out, he's out of the camera shot, but there's an elephant sitting over there. Coronavirus, we're all stuck at home in a pandemic. Well, I'm hoping everybody out there listening to this is safe, your family's safe, and you're getting time at home to read, catch up on movies you've always wanted to see, and do things that you would love to do. That's why I picked the opening song by the Smiths, Ask. I am an introvert, so in many ways, I haven't noticed too much change. But I do know some extroverts, and this is very, very difficult on them. And I just want to assure everybody we're going to get through this. And just buy things like this. Add new things to your shopping cart you hadn't thought about. I hadn't thought about this thing. What is it? This thing is a Zip UV lamp for sterilizing your phone. Just pop your phone in there, click it, zip it up, and hit the button and zap. Had I ever thought about this before a week ago? No, but I'm thinking about it now. So it's going to be an opportunity for different stuff and a big shift, but I know we're going to make it through it. So having said all that, I think I do like to sing another song. This was a song about getting through it that I wrote for a friend of mine who was going through cancer, and she was going through chemotherapy, and it was difficult. And she lives in Germany, so we were calling over Skype, and I was encouraging her to hang on. And at some point, I promised her that if she got through chemotherapy, then I would write her a song. And eventually, as these things happen, she survived, got through chemotherapy, went into remission, all was good. And she said, "Where's my song?" And I said, "You can't rush a song." I felt guilty, but, really, songs come to you whenever they're going to come to you. And one eventually did arrive, and I was able to write it, produce, and dedicate it to her. And then, I don't know, year, two, few years down the road, I was on a business trip and had the chance to stop by Germany and visit her and perform this song live in her living room to her. And the album version on the Brilliant Dreams Caleb album was the original version. And then a buddy of mine, Tim, last year we started talking about doing an acoustic album, and he came up with an acoustic version. And I'm going to play that acoustic version, sing along now. And I'm going to bring up the lyrics, actually. So if anybody else knows the song and would like to sing along, let's have a little fireside moment this Sunday evening. So first I switch to that. Then I go here. Then I go here. You got your troubles, like everyone do. You got them double, well this is true. Ain't no party when the body makes you aware Ain't no fun sitting around losing your hair. You're just not aware that he's there. Turn your eyes and stare. The wizard's on the stairs. Someone out there watching who can see. Hell, I don't know, he could be me. Now all you've got to do is proceed. Starting to be aware that he's out there. Turn your eyes and stare. Open your mind if you dare. The wizard's on the stairs. So conjure an image in your mind. Hold on tight. This magic ride might cause you some fright, yeah. So now you're aware that he's there. Open your eye if you dare. The wizard's on the stairs. Oh, back to the other part. All right, thank you. So that's Wizard on the Stairs. The album's not out yet. That's the first promo from the Unplugged album. If you're looking for albums of mine, the places to go for the Caleb stuff is, well, you can look for me anywhere. Spotify for streaming, iTunes, etc., etc. I think I'm on like 50 different platforms. But if you want to get the songs before everybody else, then go to Caleb, K-A-L-I-B, .bandcamp.com. That is where I release my music first and foremost, and you'll find albums on there such as outtakes and B-sides, Rock Song 1, instrumental versions of the first album, all the singles and the variations on them. But the main album is Brilliant Dreams. That's the album I released a couple years back. Rise Up is a single we did towards the end of last year, and we have an acoustic version of that coming, and a version 2 of this will be coming out on iTunes and whatnot in 2020, fingers crossed, and a bunch of other acoustic tracks. Now what I like to do is go ahead and bring, dun dun dun, and for those folks into more electronic music side of me, think of Donnie and Marie, a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll. Caleb is more the country rock, and then Audio Terrace is more the electronic rock. So I have a ton of stuff up here at audioterrace.bandcamp.com for you to explore should you choose. We also have radio interviews with the band over the years, stuff like that. What I'd like to do now, speaking of a certain person who has been fundamental to everything I've been doing the last 2 years, I would like to bring a guest on board. Let's see if this works. Okay, and playing with screens.
Hello there.
Hello. Let's see if I can get the screen set up right.
Nice reverb. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Sounds like you're down a long hallway talking to me.
Yeah, I can turn it off.
I could turn mine on, and then we could both shout at each other from far away.
Hey, Tim, how you doing down there?
Doing great, thanks.
It's awesome. I'm stuck in a well, too.
Lassie, come get me.
Oh, you are? You know, we've been making that joke about Timmy for a long time.
And I'm Timmy.
Well, here's Timmy, down in the well. Boy, you finally got to meet him. Tim was appeared in my constellation due to Stefan Aronson of Balanced Breakfast, a group that I manage the Seattle chapter of, but they are now a global, international, growing organization of musicians and artists and lawyers and all sorts of people related to the music business. And now more than ever, we need Balanced Breakfast and Stefan's work to hold the community together while we decide how to handle things in these times. And I got a message from him almost, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, longer, saying, hey, do you want to be in a band? And I'm like, sure. And he said, great, I'm going to pull your name out of a hat, and you're going to be in with a bunch of other guys who got their names pulled out of a hat. And we're going to have a day-long festival or evening-long festival kind of contest called Rock Lotto. And little did I know, I would, through Rock Lotto and Balanced Breakfast, meet more musicians and artists than I had previously in my entire life. And one of those people, originally just the bassist in the band, little did I know, was, okay, am I gonna slaughter your last name yet again? Tim Leehane. Leehane.
Nice. Leehane is fine. Yeah.
Leehane.
The Lassie is silent, just like me.
Do you get offended if people put a little brogue on it?
Not at all.
Tim Leehane? Oh, that's not a brogue.
That was pretty bad, brogue. That's
I had it earlier. It's inside me. It just hasn't made its way out. So Tim has been, we went from working on that band to working on a bunch of tracks, remixing tracks, mastering tracks, the last Auditeurs album, and he is making this acoustic album that you just heard, Wizard on the Stairs, from happen, and that was him playing the acoustic. And if you'd like to see him playing the acoustic really, the music video is also available on YouTube. So what else is going on down there? You're in shelter in place as well.
Yep.
You're in San Jose.
Down in the Bay Area, also shelter in place. Seems to be doing a bit of good and flattening the curve a little bit, which I'm grateful for.
This is a good thing. Seattle's starting to get I don't know if I'd call it flattening, but a post-peak, or maybe not the post-peak, but let's call it flattening the curve. That's what everybody's calling it.
Slowing the curve, I guess, is the right thing. It's not as fast as other parts right now.
Yeah, and I think Washington is just dropping down the list of hotspots from number 1 all the way down. It's like having a hit single and then just watching it fall down the chart.
Except it's the opposite, that you're not really winning if you get this hit single.
This is true. Taking a hit more than having a hit.
Yes.
So let's check this chat. Let's see. We got some people tuned in here. I can see the chats in Facebook. If anybody has any questions for me or Tim, throw it out. So I do this. I got to edit myself. There may be family viewers. I do this all the time to you, Tim, and here it comes. So what do you think about Rise Up? When do you think we'll work on that some more? Or did that become such a pain in the ass?
No, it didn't become a pain in the ass. I just have to keep remembering what it is that needs to be finished on it. Because I always think it's done before you think it's done. Or I should say, I always think that it is done and you never think it's done. So I think that one, there is some new stuff that I worked on to get sort of you wanted a different approach to the bass line, and I worked out sort of a compromise where there's another instrument playing a low bass part that plays. It's an organ that plays something a little bit different. But I recorded that. Haven't mixed it yet. And I think that's the next step is for me to mix it with that new part and then send it to you.
Cool. All right. I look forward to doing that, and give you a little background on that. Tim mixed a song that we did with that Rock Lotto band, and I heard a different bass part in my head, and he is the bass player in the band. But of course, I said, "Well, could we redo the bass like da 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 da?" And he's like, "Come on. The bass is done." And then, what was it, about a week or two later, you're like, I felt like in parentheses you said, "Darn you," because you're like, "I came up with a new bass line for the song. But it's not the one you sang. It's better." So
it's pretty similar to the one that you were humming, but it's not with the bass. It's with the pedals of an organ.
Oh, okay.
So it has sort of a different tone to it.
Do you think I should play the original now that we've talked about it? Or do you think
Sure.
I should play the Dark We're in the Dungeon post-apocalyptic acoustic version? I think that might be too heavy under current circumstances.
So many choices. I think you should play the one that I think is done, that you think needs to be done. And then let everybody tell us if it needs to be finished.
Okay, folks. Your vote matters. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play an upcoming single, Caleb single, called Rise Up. This was written 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, something like that. And so I think the sentiment may have changed in that time, but this is certainly how I was feeling at the time. And the song is called Rise Up. Receive all your signals coming through. A sinking ship, what shall we do? You must see the end is coming soon. And we'll all have to make some room. There's a time and there's a place. All the memories erased. Now we see the world through your eyes. So rise up. You gotta rise up. Rise up. Baby, you gotta rise up. Rise up, you gotta rise up. Rise take back what's yours. Let's all rise up. We're gonna rise up. Rise up. Baby, we gotta rise up. Rise up. We gotta rise up. Rise up. We're gonna rise up. Come on, Lazarus, rise up. So that's Rise Up. The next Caleb single, yeah, well, I should say one of the next batch that Tim produced and plays bass and mixed and recorded me singing. And the question is that version done or does it need anything extra? I guess I should have left that as binary. Is it done? Is it not done? Right?
Exactly how things become not done. By not making it binary.
That's good. That's a very good point. Let's see. Let's see if anybody responded to that in chat. I'd have to hear the other version to know which one is better, but I like this one. So you just got to finish the other version, and then we can do that on a show, and we can have a poll, and people go, that one or that one.
Both not be done.
There is an acoustic version that Tim did, and we performed it in the Bay Area, was that a month ago? 2 months ago now?
Before all this world went to hell, yes.
Yeah, and we did those on the radio station, and I got this really mellow vocal, and I was like, Crystal, receive all these signals coming through. And he's just strumming the guitar, and Tim's like, yeah, we're around this, in this oil barrels with wood in it, with the flames coming up, post-apocalyptic. And we were doing that during these live shows. And originally, I did it last Sunday on the Balanced Breakfast show. And after I did that, I thought, this might not be the time or the place, as the song says, to be presenting post-apocalyptic stuff. And I was listening to a music mentor chat, and he's like, release all your positive stuff now. Nothing negative, only positive stuff. And then a part of me went, okay, it's all going to be cats and smiles and dances. I'm like, well, what better time to release a post-apocalyptic song when everybody else is releasing happy songs? It'll stand out. No? Okay. Anyways, so that's Rise Up, and all the work that Tim has been doing on the acoustic versions, and again, getting Audio Terrace releases out, getting Caleb releases out, and I am eternally grateful. And I was still thinking about video and online, as I need to go capture a bunch of video and chop it up and edit it and then put it out there. And I knew streaming happened, but I was thinking more of a gamer thing or more of a Patreon tip jar kind of thing. And a week and a half ago, Tim's like, hey, I've been like detangling this crazy thing called online streaming. And I said, tell me more. And got the bug and started digging in, and that's why this show is up today. So thank you, Tim, for that.
No problem. It's been fun.
So awesome stuff. Let's see. I've been figuring that eventually I'll get some title cards I'll put up, and we'll have things like, let's see here. Let me find the right button to switch the stream. Okay, then this should switch the camera, I think. Oh, what about that? Yeah, okay. So I'd have things like this week's guests, live music, Sing along. So these are some of the ideas to do during the show. Hey, it's a video. This is one I hope to do today, experiments in sound, but literally my Macintosh will not boot into the Mac operating system for no apparent reason other than it's Sunday and I'm expecting it to do work. Here's an idea, mystic moment. Those that know me know I have a bunch of different degrees and certifications, clinical psychology, electronic music, multimedia art, masters in mysticism, certified technical software trainer, pharmaceutical training management, did that for 18 years and stuff. So Lily, one of my friends, was saying that I should talk about that sort of stuff during the segment. I want to know what you guys would like me to talk about. Feel free to put some questions in the chat or just text me after this event and say, hey, what about doing this next week? What about doing this next week? I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas. Here's another idea. I think this one goes out to Tim and I. Introvert's Paradise. I don't know what that segment would entail, but I think maybe the entire show is Introvert's Paradise. So it looks like the Macintosh is still being a problem. I'll try to boot it one more time. And I'll check the comments. Up. Everybody's being shy. We are all Introvert's Paradise right now. No one's asking any questions of you or me. And so I guess, let's see, we're at 5:45. Gonna go to 6 each week. I'm gonna try to stretch this out and provide content, and this is gonna kick me in the butt to get things done. As Tim knows, I will get halfway through a song and I'm on to the next song, and then the next song, and then I'm like, what's happening with song 20? And it's like, dude, we haven't even shipped song 1. And so I'm hoping, one of my hopes for this show is that it will put a fire in my butt to get all the content together all week long. So, all right, the Mac does not want to participate, but if you want to see what I'm talking about, this is my newest music instrument. As some might be able to see behind me, I have some unusual electronic music instruments in my studio, including a couple theremins, which are not the most playable instrument, but I don't know, I keep collecting them. But this is the latest one. Tim saw this and said, this is so you got to try it. And it is one ring to rule all the music. And it is very cool. Just got to get the Mac working. And in all this time of challenges and whatnot, I'm also taking time to do the things I haven't taken. As a lot of folks know, I've battled with a number of body issues over my lifetime, and dried out voice is one of them. So I'm going to start trying to work with voice spray to see if I can get my voice not to get all like dry and raspy really fast or really easily. So let's give this a try. I'll do this and then I'll do a song. That was weird. Okay. Suddenly I'm a better singer. Look at that. Note in your comments below if you'd like to hear some more folk stuff, if you'd like to hear some of the electronic stuff. That's another thing with me. I'm not always sure which way to go with the different styles. And the Mac here was supposed to play the video for the electronic stuff, but it looks like it's not going to do that either. So I'm going to do a next song from the set last week. It's a favorite of mine, and it's a song about the situations where you're told that you're through. It could be a health problem, it could be a career, changing situation, something where someone has ridden you hard and basically said that you're done. You're not going to ever be something. I once was told in high school that I was going to spend my life being a dishwasher. And it wasn't so much that I fought against that idea. I actually did pay for early college by being a dishwasher. And it's not that. It was just that I would kind of forget. I'd get so distracted in the vision and pursuing my vision of what I wanted to do in life, I simply would forget to lay down and die. And the song is called Caravan of the Soul. This caravan of the soul passes me by. A whisper calls out under a sheltering sky. Will we sing? Will it please the gods? Or have we forgotten to lay down and die? To lay down and die. To lay down and die. Your love has dwelled in me. Will we sing? Will it please the gods? Or have we forgotten? Have we forgotten to lay down and die? To lay down and die. Have we forgotten? Listen to the sound of this wounded vessel. How it heal, how it heal. Separate tracks that take me from you cannot be concealed. Destroy the signs of hardship. Destroy all the pain. I'll move on. I'll move on with this caravan. Have mercy. Have mercy. Will we sing? Will it please the gods? Or have we forgotten? That was Caravan of the Soul. And that was written, I think that started getting done in the late 2000s, and then was finished about to the latest version, I think, was 2015. Started off originally as a friend of mine, Eric Venger's, a song on his album with a Persian singer, Zoreh, and him doing a composition. It was a very world music piece. And I commissioned a remix, and I really loved the remix so much. And these lyrics came to me, and I asked what the translation was, and it's a Rumi poem, a Persian poem. And I played around with different ideas, but a clear set of lyrics came to me, and I worked on that off and on and released a version, I think in 2009, maybe 2010. But I had another friend of mine polish off, but I was never fully happy with the vocals on that. So there's a new version that got recorded in 2015, and that was on the audioterrorist.bandcamp.com. When you look up the Caravan of the Soul single, that's that one, and I love the vocals on that. I think it's one of the best vocals I've ever done. So that's Caravan of the Soul. So as you can see, I've got my acoustic side, got my rock side, but I also have my electronic side. And I'm not going to do any of the heavy Audio Terrorist stuff today. I prefer, it's like, if you're doing heavy rock or something really aggressive, having a backing band and doing it, me just doing that in the office seems a little weird. So if you're a big fan of metal, hard rock kind of stuff, again, audioterrorist.bandcamp.com, there's some stuff up there. If you look up the Who Are You album, you will get a full sampler from electronic to rock, some heavy stuff up on that album. It's quite diverse. I'm a big fan of David Bowie, and I love the fact that no two albums were ever the same for the most part. And I'm going to, speaking of electronic on that album, the closing song on that album was actually originally released as a single by No Carrier, by my friend Chris Werzik down in LA. He invited me to sing on a track on one of his albums, and got to also act in a music video for it. And it was pretty rare that I got to act, so I don't think I had acted in a video over a decade before this came out. But we did do it, shot it. It was really nice. I thought it was one of the nicest things I had been in. And believe it or not, doing these vocals was a nightmare, because the structure of the song is a little odd, and I wasn't getting it. And then I got nervous, so I thought, well, I should flush my ears, because for those who know, I have hearing loss, so I like to have to flush the ears so I can hear the best when I go to a vocal take. And I accidentally tore my eardrum wide open during this process, so I was congested from allergies. My eardrum was blown open, and I was having trouble remembering the lyrics. And somehow, out of these recording takes, Chris called together a version that came out on his album. And so I was pretty darn surprised when he said it would be the single. And it is called, it's a cover of a Don Henley song that's also got covered by some other bands over time. But our version is definitely a slightly different take. Let's get the right screen. Okay, got the right screen up. And the song, I guess Universal Music Group owns it, and YouTube and Universal Music Group got in a fight, legal fight, and the song was pulled from the web. Interesting enough, other people's versions didn't get pulled, even people who had versions on platforms that don't support whatever. It was a long haul to get the song back up and available in the United States, and I'd like to present it to you here today.
Nobody on the road, nobody on the beach. I feel it in the air, the summer's out of reach. Empty lake, empty streets, the sun goes down alone. I'm driving by your house, though I know you're not home. I can see.
All right, this is part of the technical fun that is doing a pilot. So I ended a Zoom call because Zoom kept trying to force itself on top, and didn't want it there. And there I didn't see any minimize. And when you try to get it out of the way, it just takes over your whole screen. So let me try that again. Here we go, full screen. All right.
Nobody on the road, nobody on the beach. I feel it in the air, the summer's out of reach. Empty lake, empty streets, the sun goes down alone. I'm driving by your house, though I know you're not home. I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. You got your hair combed back, sunglasses on, baby. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. I never will forget those nights. I wonder if it was a dream. Remember how you made me crazy. Remember how I made you scream. Now I don't understand what happened to our love. But babe, gonna get you back. Gonna show you what I'm made of. I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. I see you walking real slow, smiling at everyone. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have some deadhead sticking on a Cadillac. Little voice inside my head said, don't look back, you can never look back. I thought I knew what love was, what did I know? Those days are gone forever, I should let them go, but I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. You got your top pulled down, that radio on. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. You got your hair slicked back, those wave fingers on. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. They've gone after he's gone.
All right, that was No Carrier's version of Boys of Summer, and guest vocaled on that. And the Boys of Summer also appears as the last track on the current Audio Terrorist album. This is the video edit that you just heard. The long version is on the No Carrier album, Ghosts of the West Coast. Hope to have Chris on the show on an upcoming episode. I thank Tim for appearing on the show. And I need to switch back to my cameras here. What about that? Okay. And I thank very much Ed giving me permission to share his video with you, Ed Keller, at the beginning. Check out Mystic Insect. He has a bunch of YouTube videos with ukulele. And remember, this is just Ed's soul channeled through a sock puppet. And thank you all for watching the pilot episode. I will be back next Sunday, 5 to 6. I've got some suggestions in the chat. Feel free to send more about other things you'd like to hear. So some folks want to hear about the creative process, how you get from inspiration to final product. I did a speech at a conference about that just in January. So maybe, in fact, now that I think about it, maybe I'll pull that panel together online and have some of the people that were on that panel speak about that process. Tim's certainly one of them and is prolific. Oh, and one other thing about the creative process, maybe I will tie that in with this. This was the original project I was going to do for this show camp, songwriting in jammies. I figure we're all wearing pajamas at home all the time. So rather than that being a whole show, what I'm going to do is make that one of the segments of this show. Is I'm going to edit together some videos of me wearing different pajamas, doing different kind of songwriting. But on first one, shot on guitar. Maybe we'll look at electronic stuff like the theremin, songwriting keyboard, because certainly whatever instrument you use changes your songwriting. So I wrap up today's episode just by again saying thank you so much. Be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands as much as you can. And if you look at Audio Terrorist on YouTube, there is a video of me washing my hands, talking about washing your hands, if you need a helpful reminder there. And also just, wipe stuff down, try not to touch your face. I've had this mask kicking around since the fires in Santa Rosa in California. So if I go out to the store, I can wear that. So make sure you get stuff. And if you've been thinking about ordering something, I notice on Amazon, a lot of the things are going out of stock, and even off Amazon, you figure not a lot of manufacturing is happening. So we definitely live in different times. Think accordingly. And again, take care. Bye-bye. And for folks that are sticking around for the after party, I'll play one other track that kind of got caught up in all this and didn't get released. But it's another one based on written by Chris Werzik down in LA and then reinterpreted by Audio Terrorist. I'll leave on that video. This is the live version of that video. Let's see. Where is the lyric video? Have I not released it yet? I may not have released that yet. Because it was going to go out with a single. Yeah, okay. Don't have that, but I'll leave you with a live performance.
Your heroin don't work no more. The needle's all broken. Too much is left unspoken, drowned forevermore. Your wounds can't bleed no more. The tears are all flown. All the sorrows that you've known are now accounted for. So you go into the light of a new day. Your heroin don't work no more. All veins are closed too tight. No way to get it right. Gone forevermore. Your heart can't race no more. The pressure was too high for too long a time. So you open up that door and you go from the night and you pray that this is the break you've been waiting for. The time of your life, you need to go down the golden road you've been meaning to take to the land of the living where nothing is fake anymore. So you go into the light of a new day, and you go from the night, and you pray that this is the day you've been waiting for. The time of your life, you need to go down the golden road you've been meaning to take to the land of the living where nothing is fake anymore. And this is the break you've been waiting for. The time of your life, you need to go down the golden road you've been meaning to take to the land of the living where nothing is fake anymore. Thank you.
Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Time for me to shut down the channel and go get some dinner. Again, have a great evening. I did see a note here that Frank Martin, Resonant Frequencies, if you like experimental electronic music, Resonant Frequencies is now broadcasting online out of Oakland. Great range of experimental electronic artists. Tim and I performed there a year and a half ago. And the Balanced Breakfast event is going till 8 o'clock Pacific time. So if you like to, again, see a lot of musicians at home doing their thing, go look at Balanced Breakfast, the group on Facebook, and find the link there to the event for the Balanced Breakfast Quarantine Edition. And you'll launch a live stream and be able to watch artists from all over the country performing. Again, have a great one. Thank you for being here.